Okay, we are back with day 5 of the 30-day membership site challenge, so a sixth of the way there. And today is all about setting up a landing page. So just to recap what so far we've done, we started on day 1 with picking a topic or picking an idea for a membership site, getting clear on the why the heck I'm doing this, who am I doing it for. Then on day 2, I talked about going from a general idea, which is songwriting, kind of a broad topic, to a more niche specific idea, which is songwriting for singer, songwriter, guitar players in particular. And then we also did the exercise of going through and creating an avatar, customer avatar, who represents your ideal customer, or in my case, my ideal member. Day 3, set up a Drip account. I registered a domain. You didn't see all that, but it was done nonetheless. And then we talked about the psychology of an opt-in offer. So today we're building the landing page that's offering the thing that people are giving their email addresses to receive, and we talked about what we could possibly use and decided that, well, I'm actually going to use something that's already been created, but I'm just going to adapt it for my particular niche. And then day 4 was setting up the actual quiz, where I went through with Gravity Forms and I set up the quiz that I'm going to use it to give away to get people to opt in to my email list. And then today is day 5. Okay, I was going to play a song, but it's kind of late now and I don't want to disturb my neighbors. So I'm going to skip the song and I'm just going to get right into the meat and potatoes of setting up this landing page. Now, there are literally probably hundreds of different landing page tools and applications and stuff. Lead pages, Thrive themes, SumoMe. Oh man, there's so many. And I'm just going to use a piece of software that I already have purchased, right? So I already know this software, and it's called OptimizePress, and I've used it a lot over the years, and I like it, and I'm just comfortable with it, so I'm just going to use it. Now, what I've done here is I've actually finished setting up WordPress on my domain, which is writeawesomesongs.com, and I didn't record that part because it's really beyond the scope of what we're doing here. I'd be happy to show you if you guys want to see. Just leave me a comment and let me know. But I wanted to sort of stick this to the subject of the actual creation of the site and how that is done without getting bogged down by the super nitty gritty stuff like setting up WordPress and buying a domain and all that kind of stuff that you can probably figure out on your own if you just Google it, or leave a comment and I'll walk you through it. But now what I'm going to do is set up the landing page to offer the quiz, right? So if you recall from yesterday's vlog, I am actually going to copy Christopher Sutton's quiz, which says, "Great musicians have great ears. Do your ears need an upgrade? Start now." And then when I click on that, it offers me a free musicality checklist, and it says discover your current musical strengths and the specific areas you can work on to become a natural musician. Now, in this case, this is sort of a full site, and it's offering a number of different things, and this homepage is really like a proper homepage, right? I'm not going to go through the process of setting up the entire website. That would be really tedious, and you could probably figure that out as you go along. And it's really not the purpose of what we're trying to do. We're just trying to collect email addresses and determine if we have a viable business idea in the form of a membership site, of a potential membership site. And all we really need to do to accomplish that is to have a decent landing page that explains the freebie that we're giving away, that is enticing enough to get people to want to opt in. Okay, so I'm just going to, again, improvise a bit on what Chris has done. I'm just using his site as a template, basically, and his approach as a template. And now you can see this is the Optimize Press, and I already have built into Optimize Press upon installation a bunch of different opt-in / landing pages. Okay, so they could be really, really simple, and in fact you really want to keep it simple, especially in the beginning. You don't really have any testimonials to use, you don't have any mentions in different media outlets, so you can't really build a, I guess, influential landing page, right? So I'm just going to keep it super, super simple, and I'm going to use you know what, I'll probably use one of these, like this backdrop one. Okay, let's use this template, and we're just going to call it landing. Okay. And well, we've got a picture of a cute girl here, but it's not really appropriate for what we're doing. So I wonder if we can't change this. So let's take a look and see. Well, okay, I won't get into actually changing the landing page and customizing the CSS and all of that kind of stuff. I'll get rid of this. Okay, and I'm just gonna go straight into offering the thing that people are going to opt in for. So let's use Chris's copy again. So he says, great musicians have great ears. Do your ears need an upgrade? Okay, well, we could probably do something quite similar. We could say, great songwriters use great songwriting techniques. Does your songwriting need an upgrade? Let's see how that looks. This is great songwriters use great songwriting techniques. Does your songwriting need an update? And if I click on Start Now, you see that it's offering a free musicality checklist. And as you recall, I was actually offering a songwriting checklist. Okay, so we'll get to that in a second. And this doesn't really read well. It says great songwriters use great songwriting techniques. That's kind of obvious. Why don't we just get rid of that particular line and just stick with, does your songwriting need an upgrade? Okay, and then we're just going to say Start Now. Okay, and I'm going to change the text from download the guide, because we're not offering a guide, to Start Now. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this privacy. Well, I'll just say privacy policy, we value your email privacy. Okay. And just a little nugget. The reason I got rid of this last part of the sentence that says, and never send spam, is that the very word spam has been found to make people distrustful, even if you're telling people that you're not going to spam them. So it's actually better to leave that off, is my understanding, right? So, and you know what, actually it's a bit of a distraction, so I'm going to get rid of that as well. So does your songwriting need an upgrade? Start now. Okay, and then now it says free musicality checklist. I can actually take this this image. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of Google Chrome magic, and I'm just going to download this image. Okay, so music checklist, 1024, yes. Okay, And this says free musicality checklist. I'm going to say free songwriting checklist. Again, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I am simply copying what I already know works for somebody else and augmenting it for our application. So it says complete the form below now for your resources guide instant download. I'm going to say get your free songwriting checklist. I think that's what he says. Free musicality checklist. Okay, say free songwriting checklist. Okay. Okay, I'll get rid of this. Free songwriting checklist. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Free songwriting checklist. Okay, looks good. And then we'll say, now you can see that this form looks a little bit nicer. I wonder if we can get this form to look kind of similar. How would we do that? Why don't we just put an image element right here in the middle, or at the bottom of this opt-in. Just want to give it a little bit of a touch. Where is it? Maybe it's on the desktop. Here it is. Okay, insert into post. Yes. Insert again. Okay, here's the, looks kind of cool. Might want to actually shrink it just a little bit. It's a little too large. So let's go ahead and make it, let's say 200 wide. Should be plenty. Okay, yeah, that looks much better actually. And I wonder if I could just move this up here, if it'll look a little bit better. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit nicer and a little bit more professional. Okay, so free songwriting checklist. Enter your email address, enter your first name, download the guide. Oh, and we want to get rid of the download the guide part because it's get my checklist, right? So let's go ahead and change that. Content, submit button. What does it actually say? Text. Here we go. Get my checklist. Get my checklist. Okay. Yeah, pretty simple stuff. Insert. Free songwriting checklist. Enter your email address. Enter your first name. Get my checklist. Okay. Cool. Well, that part is pretty much done. Now, the other thing that we want to do is we actually want to integrate this with Drip. And I'm going to go into more detail about actually what happens inside Drip once somebody submits this form. But for the purposes of this video, just to keep it simple and on topic, I'm going to go to Forms. This is our new Drip account. And I'm just going to create a new form. Actually, it already looks like there's a form created here, so I can just take it. Okay, and we're not enabling the widget. We just need to get the embedded form here. Okay. Now, I need to make sure that I'm getting people's first name as well. So we have the email address. We also want the first name. And we want it to be required. Okay, and we're going to add that field. And the reason for this is it just makes your communications more personal. You know, say, hey, John, today you're going to learn about so-and-so. Rather than, hey, guy, which, you know, sounds like you're just sending out spam. Okay, so we've saved that. Post sign up. What happens post sign up? Okay, it's just going to be a default post sign up. confirmation page, confirmation settings, from name. Okay, so my from name is going to be Vic at writeawesomesongs.com. And maybe you just make it Write Awesome Songs. Vic from Write Awesome Songs. Or Vic at Write Awesome Songs. Vic, maybe Vic from Write Awesome Songs. Okay, that's fine. And my from email is going to be Vic at, you guessed it, writeawesomesongs.com. There we go. And we do want people to confirm their subscription. So basically, you have two models with email marketing. You can, as soon as people enter their name and email address, you can start emailing them. Okay, that's called single opt-in or single confirmation, or you can ask them to confirm that they actually want to receive communications from you, and they do this by clicking a link. You've probably been through this before, and this is generally considered a best practice because a lot of people will submit their email to get the freebie, but they'll use a throwaway email, so they won't use their real email. So they don't really want to hear from you. They just want that freebie. And okay, please confirm your subscription. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and then we're just gonna grab this form code and we're gonna click activate as well. Okay, so now it's active. Let me rename it to Write Awesome Songs landing page. And we'll say checklist, just so we know what we're talking about. Now, this opt-in form from Easy Ear Training doesn't actually ask for the email address right away. It asks for it at the end. So I am going to have to do a little bit of ninja stuff to set that up. And we actually don't even need the this opt-in, do we? So we can change this to yeah, we actually want to change this. Okay, so I'm going to make a new headline. Say free songwriting checklist. Okay, I got a little carried away and I didn't pay attention to what I was doing. Now, I'm not actually going to get people to opt in yet, right? That comes later. So this is free songwriting checklist. I would really like to be able to do it in the same style that he did it. So let me see if I could do that. Update. Maybe if I go here. Okay, whatever. We don't have to get super fancy. So free songwriting checklist, add element, and we're just going to add a button element, right? We're going to design our own button, and the button is going to say start now. Cool. Start now. Okay, this button is super ugly. So I'm going to kill the text shadow. I'm going to kill this inner shadow. I'm going to kill the drop shadow. I'm going to just make it really, really simple. No gradient. No. Make it just a, I don't know, really simple color. What he has orange here. Orange is fine with me. Okay, that's a little bit too dark. A little lighter. Start now. Okay, it looks a little bit better. And we'll make the text white. Start now. Okay, make it a little bit more of a bright orange. Okay, maybe like a little bit more electric, right? No, that's peach. So orange. How's that? Okay, it looks a little bit better. And use a different font as well. Yeah, that one looks good. So Verdana looks good. It's kind of playful. It's blocky, but it's still playful. And I'm going to give this text a bit of a shadow after all, because it'll stand out more if I do. Okay, that looks a bit better. And we'll make the blur radius 4. Okay, that looks good. Good enough anyway for now. And I'm just gonna make this a little bit wider and a little bit shorter, because I like that narrower style. Okay, start now. And that is going to lead to the next page, which is going to be at writeawesomesongs.com/checklist. Okay, so when somebody clicks on this button, it's going to take them to that checklist. Okay, so free songwriting checklist, start now. Maybe this will look better. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little sneaky thing, and I'm going to link this image to go to the checklist page as well. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Okay, cool. So writeawesomesongs.com/checklist. Okay, cool. So that looks good. And I'm going to add a little bit of copy. Okay, so because we want to let people know why they would even want to click. We can't just, put this thing in front of their face and say, hey, free songwriting checklist. And they're like, what about it? If that makes sense. So we're going to create a little text block. I'm going to copy. So discover your current songwriting strengths. Discover your current musical strengths and the specific areas you can work on to become a natural songwriter. Cool. So I can basically use the same exact verbiage, and I'll use this as well. Okay. Just click below for instant access. Okay, we'll want to probably make this a bit bigger and center it as well. Okay, so we're going to center it, and we're going to make it 20 pixels. Okay, that looks much better, doesn't it? I'm going to add a little bit of padding at the bottom. Actually, I'll just add a space. That should do the trick. Okay. And this image is a little bit awkward. It's kind of taking up a lot of space. And I wonder if I'm trying to figure out the best place to put it. Free songwriting checklist. Okay, you know what? That's good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. Discover your current musical strengths and the specific areas you can work on to become a natural songwriter. Just click below for instant access. Start now. Okay, cool. Let's update that page. Let's get rid of this. And let's set it to publish and save and continue. Okay, and now let's preview our landing page. Okay, that looks super ugly. I need to change that. So let's go back and add a duplicate row. Okay. Just try to get it looking halfway decent. I see what I did. I accidentally deleted the row above this row that actually pushes the box down the page. So that's fine. So I'm just going to add some padding to the top of this row. Okay, so padding, let's say 200 pixels ought to do it. And a lot of times, you know what, you just need to play around to get the look right. And then you want to check it on mobile as well, because it doesn't always look as nice on. Okay, cool. So we got our cute girl. We've got our opt-in, but we really want to make it look a little bit better than that, don't we? So maybe add another element here of vertical spacing. Okay, say 50. Okay, let's see how that looks. Oh, there we go. Much better. Does your songwriting need an upgrade? Now, I would really like, to have a cute girl on my page whenever possible, but it doesn't really relate to songwriting, so I need to find a splash image that does relate to it. And my concern is that they probably are using, a bunch of different image sizes. So let's see if I could find the image real quick. Is it a JPG? Yes, okay, so it's a background image URL. Let's grab this. I think that's the one. Yeah, okay, so that's the one. It's 1300 by 784. So now we're going to go to Google image search. Go to images. And we're going to search for singer-songwriter. And we're going to try to find something that sort of matches the look here and that won't interfere or detract from the actual opt-in. And that is also roughly the same size. So this one is 1300 by 784. Let's see. This one looks pretty good. This one looks cool. Oh, this one's cool. All right, so let's grab this one. Okay, while that's loading, let's see if I can find another good one as well. This one is nice, but the problem is it's too small and too busy. Okay. We really want to find something like this, something quite bare. This is a good one. This is a good one. This is actually a good one because you can see that on this image, I could actually put the opt-in box right on this empty space. Okay, let's just take this one. All right, and then let's visit our page settings. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that the image is defined somewhere in here. Or maybe it's in the CSS or in the template itself. Okay, I won't get into all of that, but I probably will change this. Okay, at some point, but again, it's beyond the scope. So if I click on Start Now, boom, there is our songwriting checklist. So free songwriting checklist. Discover your current musical strengths and the specific areas you can work on to become a natural songwriter. Just click below for instant access. Okay, so if I click on Start Now, it's going to redirect us to /checklist. Okay. Now, as you recall, I had created on vicdorfman.com a Gravity form which represented the checklist. And the cool thing about Gravity forms, one of about a million awesome things about Gravity forms, is you can just import and export forms. Okay, so I'm actually going to head over to WordPress on Write Awesome Songs, and I'm going to install the Gravity Forms plugin. Okay, which again, I have a license for it. Okay, let's just search Gravity. It's somewhere here, I'm sure. There it is. Okay, and while that is installing, let me see if I can figure out real quick how to change this background. You know what, it's probably not so obvious. Background image. Okay, well, let's see if I go to select file, desktop, see downloads. This is downloads. Maybe it's on desktop. Here we are. Let's just see if the image will fit. It's actually a bit hard to get the proper image size that really fits with your landing page and works well on mobile. Let's say large but not full size. Okay. And we'll center it. Okay, let's just see how it looks. Yeah, well, it looks pretty good, but as you can see, the original background is still in the back. I don't know how to get rid of that. Maybe delete this row, but it's still there. Okay, cool. So we got we got half a songwriting thing, and then we've got a girl. That doesn't really, it's not really what we want. Okay, so what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna add a ton of padding to the bottom of this page, maybe like 500 pixels, and that might actually solve the problem by extending the image way down. Okay, let's just check it out. Okay, yeah, it actually did solve the problem. Now if I zoom out, probably gonna see the girl at some point. Yeah, you can see she's actually there. But fine, this is good enough for now. Doesn't have to be perfect. Does your songwriting need an upgrade? Start now. Okay. This background image, I probably am not actually going to use it because it's super busy. And it doesn't really lead your eye to the opt-in form. But no problem, whatever. Okay, so I've activated Gravity Forms here on Write Awesome Songs. Now I'm going to export the form that I created on day 4, I guess, yesterday. It was day 4, but it wasn't yesterday. And let's see, best practices. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Songwriting checklist. Okay, settings. Edit, settings, entries. Let's go to settings. Let's see if I can't export it real quick. Here we go. Import, export. Super obvious, right? So we're going to export a form, and it's going to be the songwriting checklist. Okay, we just downloaded the file. Now we're going to close out of there, and then we're going to import the form on writeawesomesongs.com. Oh crap. Okay, so let's import the form. I just added my license key, so should be able to import the form per usual. Here we go. Yes. Okay, and now we have our form. So let's go over to forms, and I'm going to grab the form ID, which is number 1, and then I'm going to create a new page. It's just going to be a really simple page, like a blank page basically. It's just going to be a full width page, and it's going to be called checklist. All right, and on this page, I'm going to add the Gravity Forms shortcode that is going to actually produce the checklist form itself. Now the thing is that you cannot actually, because OptimizePress has its own editor, I can't pull up the regular WordPress editor. So I need to actually go in and edit a post, and as you can see here, I have a add form button, so I'm going to click on that. I'm going to select the only form there is to select. I'm not going to display the form title. I'm not going to display the description, and you can see here that it gives us the shortcode that we need, which I can then simply post into the page as a custom HTML element. Okay, and that should render our form. I'm gonna hit publish, save and continue, then view the link, and voila, here's our checklist that we had created. Now, I realize this is all looking pretty ugly, but of course, before I actually email anybody or drive any people to these pages, I'm gonna clean them up and make them look as nice as possible. But the main thing is just not to get too hung up on the super duper little details, because it'll trip you up, and there's no need for that. So I'm gonna save and close the checklist page. We know that it works now. We have it created, and I've done basically everything that I need to do, with one exception, which is I haven't yet integrated Gravity Forms with Drip. Well, it just so happens that Gravity Forms and Drip have an integration. Okay, and I believe, let's see, Gravity Forms, Drip. Forget how the integration works exactly. Drip email campaigns plus Gravity Forms. This must be it right here. Okay, yep. So here we go. Here's the Drip integrates Gravity Forms with personalized email marketing tool Drip. Okay, cool. So I just downloaded that. I'm going to go and install that plugin now. See, this is why I really like to do things right from within WordPress, and I don't really use too many third-party apps like lead pages and stuff like that, because you just really have a lot more control when it's all within your website. On the other hand, it takes more technical knowledge, it takes more doing. So if it's a barrier to entry, if you're not a technical person, then by all means use lead pages, use the simplest tools you can find, just so that you don't have an excuse not to take action, Believe you me, there are a lot of super duper non-technical sites, people who have started very successful membership sites. I know because I've worked with people like that. Okay, I'm going to download this guide because that looks cool. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up, let's see, it says manage Drip, create a Drip feed settings, create a subscriber, map custom fields, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I understand. So as you can see now on the songwriting checklist, there's a Drip field. And I'm going to create a new Drip feed. Okay, we got to grab our API token. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to paste it in. Authenticate. Okay, and now we're good to go with Drip. And we're going to go back to our forms. Go to settings, Drip. Create a new Drip feed. We'll call it, we don't have to really give it a name. Drip feed 1 is fine. Select my account. Drip action. Now, the action that we want is we want to create or update the subscriber. Okay. So you want to create or update the subscriber. Subscriber email is going to be mapped to the email field. Custom fields is going to be first name. So first _ name. Then that's going to be the project name first. Okay. And let's see here. User ID. Okay, we don't need that. Tags to add. Okay, now we're going to add a tag. We're going to say checklist. Cool. Attach lead score. Yes. Okay, cool. Easy. So now when somebody completes the checklist, they should be added to Drip. So let's go ahead and test that real quick. All right, so click here. Does your songwriting need an upgrade? Yes. Free songwriting checklist. Okay, start now. Cool, so now we're gonna go through the checklist. My first name is Vic. Do you play an instrument? Yes, I do. I play guitar. What's your skill level for your main instrument that you use to write songs? Well, I would say intermediate. Creating my own music, I can do this. Writing lyrics, I can do this. Playing and combining chords creatively, I can do this. Coming up with melodies, I'm decent at that. Have a good sense of rhythm. You know what? I'm not as rhythmic as I'd like to be, so I'll say I want to do this. Singing in tune, I'm decently good at that. Tuning my instrument by ear, I'm decently good at that. Knowing my instruments inside and out, well, not really. I would like to get better. Playing from a lead sheet, yeah, I can sort of do that. And putting it all together, I would say I can sort of do that. Now, obviously, I'm expecting the people who, would be good prospective members. They're not going to have all of these check boxes on I can do this. They're going to probably need more help. If I didn't know, then I wouldn't be a good teacher, right? So, are you a man or a woman? I'm a man, and I'm in my 30s. So, click next. So, where should we send your completed checklist and personal action plan? Let's send it to victor.dorfman@gmail.com. Thanks for contacting us. We will get in touch shortly. So, what should happen now is that if I go to my subscribers account here, I should have a new subscriber named Victor, or Vic. And here I am. Okay, and if I click on this contact record, you can see it already has my picture. Kind of creepy. If I click on properties, you could probably see my first name. Yeah, my first name is Vic. You could see it hasn't collected any information about me, and then you can see that I've been given the tag checklist. So awesome. So that's exactly what I wanted to do today. Nothing super special. I'll probably spend one of these vlogs actually cleaning stuff up and making it look a little bit more interesting, a little bit more professional. But that's basically the whole thing, right? And so one thing I'll probably change is that we probably don't need people to click a confirmation link, okay? Because they're already expecting to get their results. So it's going to be a little bit redundant to have them do that. Now if I check my email, I should get actually I shouldn't get anything yet, because let's see here. I shouldn't get anything because I don't have any emails configured for Drip yet. Right. Okay, so yeah, that's all exactly as it should be. Well, okay, that was day 5 vlog. Setting up a landing page and connecting Drip. Now, day 6, I think we're gonna maybe get a little bit deeper into Drip and getting it looking good. And then day 7, probably just clean up our landing page a little bit, just give it a little bit more style, a little bit more substance. And then around day 8, we can actually start creating some content and sending people from that content to this landing page. So in my case, I have a bunch of YouTube videos that I've already created and that already get a little bit of traction. So I will just send people from those videos to this landing page so that they can get their free checklist. Now, one last step up, we'll probably have to do that before that, is actually configuring the checklist to give some certain results on the basis of what people actually answered and giving them recommendations. Okay, so we're going to get deeper into all of that stuff. And as always, the journey continues. It's a grind now. We're in the thick of actually doing work. You know, we're past the idea stage. We're in the work stage. And, you know, it's not necessarily glamorous, but it's what has to happen. And it's not, yeah, it's kind of fun too, in a geeky sort of way. So, yeah, let's see where it takes us. And thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave them down below, and I'll get back to you. Okay, have a good one.